Hi, this is Mrs. Robertson, and today we're going to get ready for our test tomorrow on integers and graphing. We want to make sure that everyone knows how to graph their integers and know how to read everything, so you'll be ready to get a good grade on your test tomorrow. Right now the test will be paper and pencil. The Mastery Connect version of the test was not ready yet. Okay. This question is so easy, it is hard. Number 1, which set of integers is graphed in the number line? Well, it's -2, 0, and 4. Now, my technique is to circle things on a paper test, and that way I really see what the numbers are. It makes you focus and pay attention. Now, if you want to, you can put these little set brackets. I'm not going to require it on the test. Any questions? Thumbs up? Good. Which expression has the greatest value? Well, the absolute value of 10 is 10. The negative absolute value of -12, well, the absolute value of -12 is 12. And see how that negative sign is hanging outside of it? So that'll be a -12. The absolute value of a -19 is a 19. The absolute value of -10 is 10, but that is hanging out there, so we have to put it here. When it's on the outside is the only time the absolute values will have negative signs. Now, which one has the greatest value? Well, that'll be B. Any questions on that, kids? Okay, B. 19 is the largest value there. What is the value of this expression? The absolute value of -17 is 17. The absolute value of 7 is 7, and that will give you 24. Now, kids, if you write down 17 plus 17 and you get 23, I could give you partial credit, okay? Just to let you know, on a paper test, I could give you a partial credit. You knew that that was 17 plus 7, but when you added wrong. But this is a skill we were checking. Did you know what the absolute values of the numbers are? Number 4, write an integer that best represents a deposit. Deposit is positive. Okay, a withdrawal would be negative. Okay? Now let's go on to number 5. Select all the true statements from the options below. Well, this one, they would be equal. -2 is equal to -2, so that one's false. Is -3 greater than -5? Yes, B is true. -6 is less than -5? Yes, C is true. And if you wanted to, all you have to do is just draw you a number line. Is -2 greater than -7? Yes, D is true. Is 2 less than -4? No, 2 is greater than -4. So if you ever want to double check things, especially in the negative world, it goes to -7, so -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So I go all the way to -7, and then you can just compare. Remember, the number on the left is always smaller than the number on the right. What is the opposite of -15, class? 15. That is correct. Write an integer to represent a loss of 7 yards. What would I do for a loss, Alex?
-7.
Excellent. -7. Loss would be negative. Gain would be positive. Which situation is best described by a negative integer? Deposit's positive. Gain is positive. Withdrawal would be the negative one here, right? Raise would be positive. Any questions on that? Okay, now let's go to the next page. Use the coordinate plane to answer questions 9 and 10. All right. Now, before we get going, I'm going to go ahead, quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4? If you forget, you always start here, you make a C. Which of the following correctly identifies the point for the ordered pair -3, -4? -3, -4 is point D. D. Name the ordered pair that is point A. Point A, you're going to go 4, -3. So you put your little parentheses, and it's 4, -3. Remember, you go this way first and then down. So it's positive, then negative. Any questions on that problem? Everyone doing a pretty good job? Don't forget to put your little parentheses around it. Which of the following correctly identifies the quadrant where the point -9, 3 would be? Well, if you don't know it, just go up here and think, well, -9 is to the left, +3 is up, so you end up in quadrant what? 2, which is choice B. Any questions? I think most of you will finish this test in 10 minutes tomorrow. Number 12. Replace to make it a true statement. Well, once again, you can just draw a number line. I'm going to put 0 here. Here's 2, excuse me. All right, as I was saying, you can always draw a number line. -1, -2, -3. I'm going to go all the way to -13. I'm going to skip some numbers. -5. I know -7's there. I don't have to show all the numbers if I don't want to on this. This is just to help me. You know 2 is bigger than a -13, right? So it is greater. -7, is it smaller than a -5? Well, on a number line, there's -7. Here's -5. -7 is the little number. It gets the little point. -7 is less than -5. Owing $7 is worse than owing $5, right? Right. Any questions? You all get that? Good. Number 14, in which quadrant is the point -4, -2 located? Oh, it's the very negative quadrant. What's the very negative quadrant?
Quadrant 3.
Quadrant 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes, and it actually is point E, isn't it? But it asks for what quadrant. So answer the question. Okay? Any questions? Okay. We have just a few more, and then the test will be over. Use the coordinate plane to answer questions 15 to 18. Kids, all I did was take your last week's worksheet, and I just put X's and put new points on there, okay? I'm sorry I was lazy, but that's what I did. Okay, so for number 15, what point is 5, 2 located on? Well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up to, it is point M. Did everyone see how I got point M? Okay. -4, -3. Start at the origin. -4 means you're going to go left. -3 means you're going to go down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to go down 3. 1, 2, 3. You end up on point N. Any questions? Okay, +3, +3. I'm going to go right 3 and up 3. 1, 2, 3, up 3, 1, 2, 3, point I. Any questions on that? In number 18, I'm going to go right 1, down 1, because it's negative. Right 1, down 1 is point P. Any questions on that? Did you have a question? Okay. This is easy, isn't it? I think everyone will get an A on this test. Remember, if you get a good grade on this test, I will replace your quiz score that was bad earlier or last week with this good test score, which I think you're all going to get a good test score. Write the point for the ordered pair 1, 5. That means I'm going to go right 1, up 5. Right 1, up 5. Did everyone get point C? Write the ordered pair that names point D. Where is D? Here it is. Start at the origin. I have to go left 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's negative. And then I'm going to go up, which is positive. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's negative 3, positive 4. I went left and then I went up. Okay? Write the ordered pair that names point E. Here is E. Start at the origin. I have to go left 4. So that's negative 4. And I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3. Any questions on that? Everyone pretty good? Great. Now let's go on the back side. Changing fractions to decimals. Okay, kids? What's the decimal for 1/2? You should have this one memorized. 0.5. 1/2 is the same thing as 0.5. Put a happy face because you all know that one, right? Who has 1/3 memorized? Yeah. That's the next one. This one is 0.3 repeating. Now, if you don't have it memorized, this is what you do. 1 in the box, 3 outside it. Okay, write that down. How many 3s live in a 1? None. Put in a decimal point, add a 0. How many 3s are in a 10? 3. That's 9. Subtract. Add another 0. Bring it down. How many 3s are in a 10? 3. And it's going to repeat that pattern, isn't it? So instead of just doing it forever, you put a bar over the number that keeps on repeating. Any questions? Now, if you have this one memorized, who remembered what this one is memorized? Yes. 0.6 repeating, that's right. And to check it, 2 divided by 3 goes into 26 times. And it's just going to be in a repeating cycle, isn't it? So that's how you get that one. Any questions? How many have this one memorized? 3/4 is what percent? Think of a dollar and think of quarters. Yes, Owen. 0.75. That's what you were trying to say. 75 cents, right? 3/4 is 75 cents. You want to have that memorized, okay? Does anyone have 1/5 memorized? What? 0.2. Yeah, if you have 1 divided by 5, how many 5s are in a 1? 0. Add a decimal point. How many 5s are in a 10? 2. That one's easy, isn't it? Now, if you have a 9 on the bottom, it's going to be a repeater. You're going to do a bar. Watch this. 1 divided by 9. All right. Sorry about that interruption. We're back to this. How many 9s are in a 1? 0, 1. We added our decimal point, kids, and our 0. Subtract, and that's going to repeat. So our answer here is going to be 0 and 1/10 with the bar over the 1. Got that? You see how that is? Look what happens for 4 9s. 4 divided by 9, 0. Add a decimal point and a 0. Look, how many 9s are in a 40? 4. 36. And look what happens. Boom. It's going to repeat, isn't it? Do you see that pattern? So if I had 5 9s, you now know if we happen to have 5 9s, the answer is going to be 0.5 repeating, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, 1/6. 1 divided by 6. 6 goes into that once. Subtract. Add a 0. Bring it down. 6 will go into 40. 6 times. 36. Subtract. And what's going to repeat? The 1 and the 6 or just the 6? Just the 6. So it's 0.16 with the bar only over the 6 because the only thing that's going to repeat is the 6. Now this is an easy one. 2/5. If 1/5 is 2/10, then 2/5 will be 4/10. There are 2 ways of doing it. 2/5 equals the fraction 4/10, right? And 4/10 is 4/10. or 2 divided by 5.4. Any questions on that? Now 5 6, I think this is one that has a repeating one. Let's see. 5 divided by 6. 0. 6 goes into 58 times, 48. Subtract, add a 0, bring it down. 6 goes into 23 times. Oh, and what happens? The 3 is going to repeat, isn't it? All right, so it's 0 and 83 hundredths with just the 3 repeating. Any questions, kids? So what do I want you to do for your homework? I want you to study for your test. Make sure you know how to do all of these problems. And then if you want to, you can do the Edulastic at home. Just don't submit it. I'll put your answers up. So, yeah, take that home. Do the Edulastic, but don't submit it because I'll put this, for bell work tomorrow, we'll have the Edulastic for you to check your Edulastic for bell work. Have a great day. You still have about another minute, I think.